All right, I got some secret stuff going on tomorrow morning, so this recording is happening right after work. I am sorry for taking this long for this video. Um, the fact that Plushie has his out before me is very telling for how long this took, because that man is like he's doing some kind of research. So like, if he has enough time to buckle down and do his review, mine doesn't take nearly as much effort. It should have been out weeks ago, but I wanted to wait for Final Ascension just to see if there were extra traits, and there's not. Pretty much stage 1 is like both of the 2 traits you kind of care about, and then stage 2 and 3 is more if the stage requires this. It's like you can use this ascension instead. These traits usually don't matter, especially Child Servant. That's really not going to apply much to him. There aren't many servants that actually can buff up Child trait. It's like mostly Ilya. Yeah, there's like not anti Child trait. But there are servants that have like some effects. Yeah, right here. So we have Nursery Rhyme and Summer Ilya, and that's it. Nothing for craft instances, nothing for command codes. Really glad I saw this here, because this saved me a whole lot of time. Anyway, levitating. This is specifically to Lost Belt 7. If you're watching this and you're on JP, you're probably already past this point. If not, hey, those nodes are 0 AP now until you clear it. Awesome. So, base attack, 11.2k. This is on the lower side for 5 stars, but don't worry too much. Honestly, all this HP over here should have gone over here. Oh, sorry. Yeah, all this HP over here, I do think it should have gone over to base attack, because King Tut wants to kill anything he's thrown at. Otherwise, you're kind of in trouble. So this is a little too much HP, especially for a character that has a guts that you are fully intending to use. But at the same time, like, it's not the worst thing. Star weight, star gen, and normal archer numbers. MP charge 0.38. Now, this may be Ibuki's gain, but this is not Summer Ibuki. Not even close in terms of gains. Nowhere close are you going to see like good gains from King Tut's face cards. You need to crit, and you probably need other arts buffers like Castoria to actually make these cards refund something. Because more likely than not, his face cards are not how you get back to his MP. He is a brute forcer through and through. 4 hit on quick, but again, archer, so low star gen. 4 hits on the arts cards. Again, these are at least like 0.1 over here, lower than what they could be, but this is a triple arts deck, so there is some forgiveness there. But just no, do not expect, like, if you do not have Castoria buffs up on King Tut, which because of how you use him, that's a very likely chance that he is not getting many other buffs besides his own. Yeah, base card refunds are pretty much only an issue if he's being used as intended. If he's not being used as intended and you actually are giving him a lot more like specific card buffs for him specifically, and not just like AoE buffs that like buff him up, then you'll see some gains from these. But other than that, like, he needs dedicated support to make his cards look good. First skill, 20 battery for the party. Increases everyone's MP damage by 20% for 3 turns. And then 2 separate buffs. When your guts activates, 30 stars. If he dies, 30 stars. But this is when any guts. This does not go away. Anytime a guts on King Tut is activated, you get 30 stars. So this is how he actually can do like 3-turn farming. You need to be able to give him another guts. If like, and again, this is not how he's being intended to be used. You are not supposed to be actually giving him a guts for him to be doing 3 turns. I think if you are going to do that, you could just use any other single target arts. King Tut is like really special of how you're supposed to use him. So like, again, if you wanted to just use a generic single target arts archer, just use a single target archer. If you want King Tut, use King Tut. So yeah, that's Valley of the Kings. The note here, you can, yes. So this is just saying that you cannot, you need to double stack each part of the skill if you want 60 stars. It's not, you get a guts to activate, or you get death to activate, and then you get 60 stars. They're two separate activation conditions. But it does look like if you double stack this, you will get 60. It's just that you're not likely to be double stacked. It's possible, just very unlikely. Second skill, 30% arts. On attack debuff, every time you use a face card. Sorry, not even a face card. Every time you attack, you put curse on the enemy of 500 damage. That lasts for 5 turns. The best part about this is it works on the MP. So if you have someone that like not ramp up like Babanchi, but someone like Summer Reese that just needs the enemy to be cursed and then you get the super effective, this is easy. Especially because you can do this like back to back. Like you MP with King Tut. King Tut dies and then you attack with the Reese like right after. Again, that is just situational. I'm not saying that's how you use him because that's 2 single target units you're using together. Conflict of interest there, but depending on like what you're fighting, like if you're fighting a boss completely different, then you actually might use it like that. But yeah, you can easily enable curse for anyone that needs it for a super effective power mod. Jacques, Eris, build up charge with Van Gogh. That's another thing you can do because Van Gogh can just bring all the curses to them. And then Van Gogh gets a bigger battery, along with another 30% charge. So right now, King Tut's already at 50%. Third skill, 1-time 3-turn guts, and you get back up to 5k HP. Kind of why I'm saying like this HP being as high as it is, it's helpful, but the higher HP is with the guts, the further you are away from half health. Again, like if your half health is like 10,000, or like if you have 20,000 HP and your half health 10, and this guts doesn't even get you there, like a quarter of that, you have to be aware of that for like some buff condition. Like you always have to be aware of it because now FGO is like bringing in like conditional buffers like Tonalico, where having a guts proc and then having super high HP is a benefit because you're in lower HP longer. Yeah, so when you're thinking about bringing buffers for King Tut, just keep that in mind. He's going to bring his HP really, really low very quickly. Someone like Tonalico, that is free damage she can give him, like a really, really high attack buff. Yeah, let me bring this up real quick. And Tonalico can also give a guts too, so there is some synergy there. But yes, base 20, and if you are less than 25%, That's another 40% attack. Toneleko also gives a guts. So Toneleko is probably one of her King Tut's best supports just off that. Oh, sorry for the sneeze again. Especially if you want, especially if you want King Tut to be MPing twice specifically, because he does have the guts. And if you already know what King Tut's MP, like, that's why I'm not kind of skirting around it. It's been so long, most people kind of do know what his MP does, but people probably watching in this future don't know what it is. Just know this guts is gonna be popped more. Like, this is probably going to be the most frequently popped guts in, like, out of all the characters in FGO. There are very few characters that are actually going to be able to, like, use their MP, pop their guts, and it be part of their actual function. So yeah, back to this. One time 3-turn guts of 5k HP, full debuff immunity for 3 turns, and then another 30 battery. So we're at 80% battery from skills. You get 20 here. He can literally start from 0 and MP as long as everything is maxed out. That is awesome. What's heck? All right, let's keep going. Passive skills: A- magic resist 19.5%. By the way, these are new. I have not looked at King Tut's passives in 3 weeks, even though I got him, like, I think on day 1 or 2. So that, like, literally part of his kit I wasn't even paying that much attention to, because, like, this got delayed so long. Independent action Canopus. Crit damage for only arts cards at 10%. Divinity for Tickle Curse. He actually does have it! He actually has the passive King Tut's Curse. Oh my god, they actually gave it to him. Alright, so sorry chat, I've known about King Tut for a while. My dad had an Egyptian chest set, and King Tut's sarcophagus is like one of the pieces. And there was like this King Tut TV show, like, when I was a kid. Like, old man talking right now. But yeah, like, there was such a big meme, like, Curse of Ra, like, going on. He actually fucking has it. That is glorious. All right, but yeah. So, appends. Mana loading is probably what you're going to need 90% of the time. If you plan on doing, like, AoE Castoria, you can kind of get around using it. It's just having this unlocked gives you way more wiggle room of what batteries you can pop and when. Skill reload, like, honestly, yeah, like, I'm gonna say most of these other pens don't matter, especially this one. If King Tut doesn't have his guts and he pops his extra and he pops his MP, he's dying. So this is literally not even gonna apply half the time. Crit damage too, it's a little iffy, because if you MP and you don't have a guts, you're not gonna get face cards, so you can't crit. While at the very least, you might actually send him at an assassin, either to soften them up for another DPS or just to try a wave clear it if it's, like, low enough HP. So, like, there is some use for this, but no, it's with an asterisk. Just like so much about his kit in general. And again, skill reloading, he's not gonna be around long enough for him to even get his skills to come back. All right, MP, 5-hit single target arts, super effective against demonic enemies. Inflicts curse, inflicts evil curse. So curse amp, all curse damage is increased by 100%. Meaning, like, if you have 3 curses each at 1,000, now each of them is gonna do 2,000. 100%. Like, basic math for this is take this number, move the decimal place over, and plus 1. So what I mean by that is if you wanted to figure out how much times more damage like this would do, it's you turn this 100% into just 1 and you add a 1. So 1,000 times 2 is 2,000 damage per tick. And it's simple like that. 100% chance to insta-kill, 500% chance to sacrifice himself. So just like Arash, he is gonna do his MP and then dip out. If you pop the guts, he can stick around for one more turn. Hopefully you MP with him again, or you can choose not to pop the guts and you're cycling in another DPS. If I would only advise not popping the guts if you really don't need him anymore, because if you just choose to let him die and you're cycling in a new support, that could help your other DPS do significantly more damage than what normally yes, you actually will be able to get you'll have around the same buffers, but choosing units to sacrifice, you have more leeway of when someone comes in. So like, say you only have Plug Suit and you have 2 Castorias and an Oberon. 100%, you know, like you're popping your Castorias first and Oberon's gonna come in eventually. Whereas if you have another DPS, the Castorias are probably gonna flip out, but when Oberon comes in, you get to choose that while still having a lot of buffs. So like in hindsight, there's no difference. Like your team, like basically your party cost for your team just goes up. But you're going for way more damage than you normally would be able to, because you have 2 DPS units you're somewhat trying to buff. And here's just insta-kill success rate. Most of the time you want around 120%. Like that's the good number that like Doman has, where he's pretty much insta-killing everything consistently. It's not 100% guaranteed you insta-kill, but it's a pretty good chance. And OC, MP damage for 1 turn. Bond CE gives himself a guts, 10% HP, and it's stackable with other guts. So here's where if you grail him to higher levels, this guts will give more HP. And the best part, it is stackable with other guts, including his own. I do think it is one of the stupidest things this game will ever do, in that they give a unit a guts, their Bond CE has a guts, but they do not stack together. So if the guts has like damage or like charge, like, and you need it, your guts is going to be wasted. And I think that is the dumbest shit. So it's very good that they flat out say that this guts is stackable with other guts. The only other way they would have to buff skill 3 and then say it's stackable with other guts. But just more added effects, very similar to what Zenobia got. In fact, like this is pretty much exactly what Zenobia got. When guts activates, party-wide battery, and then when death activate, when King Tut dies, another 10%. So yeah, like extremely similar to what Zenobia's most recent buff was. Disappointing, but it's synergized with the Bond CE. This Bond CE synergizes with his kit, that every time a guts goes off, you get 30 stars and 10 battery for the entire party. Same if he dies. I do think utility is like that is useful. It's just that on Zenobia, it doesn't make sense. On King Tut, this makes way more sense for why he would have something like this. So, is King Tut a unit you absolutely require? Is he like game-breakingly broken? No. A lot of what you can do with King Tut, you kind of already could do. It's just like now you're able to cycle buffers so that an AoE like Summer Ibuki does not get stuck on one enemy waves, but you can still give her the same amount of buffs as if she was single core. That is King Tut's like main appeal. You can basically do a like quasi multi-core, meaning like you're kind of doing multi-core where like King Tut is just getting the AoE buffs, but you still get as many buffers as you normally get in regular multi-core, with the added caveat that now your DPS does not have to do, like your AoE does not have to do 3 waves. They just need to do 2. So you can even like sacrifice like another, like a support that is like meant to help them loop 3 times. Like you can give up a Castoria for a better buffer, or a more like a buffer that gives more buffs that aren't normally used. Like for example, say you plan on bringing in Oberon, but your DPS doesn't really have that many MP damage ups. Instead of another Castoria, you can bring a support that gives a lot of MP damage that Oberon can double stack. And again, this also applies to King Tut. Like, you don't have to like leave him out to dry and not buff him. You can buff him, but just be aware like he's going to die. So any buffs you give him should either be 1 turn, or again, they should be on the side. Like Castoria, keep bringing up Oberon, where they have these AoE charges that also give like offensive buffs. Like that's the kind of characters King Tut King Tut is going to want. All right, this one was a little messier, but is what it is. I will see you guys later. Peace. Thank you for making it to the end of this video. If you enjoyed, drop a like or sub. Hope to see you in the next one. Peace.